A wonderful sister told me that she wanted to know why her last relationship ended. And I told her, unless you were his wife, what should it matter to you why it ended? And unless you were expecting to be married, the obvious answer is that as your boyfriend, he had to move on because he, sister, is actually not your husband. It was Muddy Waters who said, you know, legendary blues recorder, Muddy Waters, who said, you can't spend what you ain't got, and you can't lose what you never had. Welcome to Hashtag Relationships, where we are discussing the business of being married. Sister, before you enter into another temporary situation, before you start up another pseudo relationship, and when I say temporary, sister, you know I mean something that has no commitment. And there's only one real commitment, one true commitment, and that's the one that is recognized on public record. It's called marriage. I want you to ask your man of interest about his philosophies on life, his philosophies on marriage, on relationships, on being a husband, on having a wife. I want you to ask him these philosophies because these are his guiding principles. And as a man, he has to be able to commit to his guiding principles. And if he can't commit to his own guiding principles, then there's no way he can commit to the principles of being married, or there's no way he can actually commit to you as a wife. So check on his guiding principles. Let's start there before you get into any other meaningful conversation with the brother. Someone said that a man without guiding principles is like a ship without a compass. It changes direction with every change of the wind. Now, sister, if you tell your man that you heard some of this information from Hashtag Relationship, let me put it in perspective for you. He might say, what in the world is Hashtag Relationships? And why are you listening to something like that anyway? Well, then you just let him know that Hashtag Relationship is a functioning business. It is a professional service filed and recorded as official public records with the Dallas, Texas County Clerk, certified and valid. And then I would ask you, what about your relationship? Unofficial, not filed, not certified, and not recognized as having ever existed. I say this, sister, because when you're talking to a man of interest, or when he's talking to you, the only thing that you're concerned about is whether or not he's married presently, or has he ever been married. The only thing he's concerned about is whether or not you're married, or have you ever been married. Why? Because these are the only relationships that really matter. You don't care nothing about his multiple girlfriends. No one really cares about that at all, because at the end of the day, it's as though they never existed. So if you don't care nothing about his multiple girlfriends from his past, why then would you care to be just another girlfriend in his present and in his future? Because when your time is up with the brother, then it's as though you never existed either. So you need to stop saying, sister, that you ain't looking for nothing, quote unquote. I'm noticing a trend where women are saying, and you say it proudly, that you're not looking for a relationship, you're not looking for a husband, you're not looking for a man or a commitment, and you say that as if it empowers you some kind of way. But sister, you're going down the wrong road. If you say this to any man, then you're sending the wrong message. You are inviting the wrong men to stick around when you say this, sister. And if you're serious about meeting your husband, you have to stop saying, I ain't looking for no commitment, because you're playing into the hands of all the wrong men. You have to say unapologetically that I am looking to be married to my wonderful husband, if you want to go that far, because you're not trying to be a girlfriend. Let him know that I am not another temporary assignment for you. This tells the would-be player to move on. This tells the would-be one-night stand or the temporary man to move on. And this tells the right kind of brother to stick around for further observation. And what are you observing from him? His guiding principles and whether or not he can commit to his own guiding principles. Sister, finally, I want to say that every man, when it comes to women, when you've reached a certain point in your life, if you start saying or acting like you are not trying to be in a relationship or to be married, every man is going to have the same thought in the back of his mind. He's going to say to himself, there's something wrong with you. He's going to say there's either something wrong with you or there was something so wrong with you in your past or something that happened that was so terrible that it brought you to such an asinine conclusion that you, a full-grown woman, at this point of your life, does not wish to be in a committed relationship and married to the right man. I say this because every man knows that there has not been a woman who honestly can say that she set the goal for herself to bring different men around her adult children to introduce them. And God forbid that she would bring strangers and different men around her grandchildren at a certain point of her life. Sister, I'm just here to tell you the truth, that you really need to stop saying that you're not looking for nothing, that you ain't looking for nothing, or however you put it. I say it in quote. And the reason why your relationships mean nothing and they end and leaving you without anything is because you started out saying you ain't looking for nothing. Sister, I'm only here to help because I want for you what I want for myself. I want you guys to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live a long life, a life of longevity and one of fulfillment. But above all these things combined, I wish upon you many, many blessings. I hope this information finds you in the right place in your head. And I am looking forward to your response. I hope it's been helpful. I've enjoyed sharing it. And as always, my name is Jay Jackson.